Dula in as the tailback. Snap to Carr in the shotgun. Back to pass. Climbs the pocket. Eyes downfield. Fires a strike to Davante at the 25. Breaks away 20. 15, 10, 5. Dives. Touchdown Raiders! Claps his hands. Now gets the ball. Back to pass again. Fires towards the end zone. Adams reaches. Grabs. Diving grab for his first Raiders touchdown just inside the pylon.
All right, here with Raiders receiver Davante Adams, and you're a longtime Raider fan. Raider Nation, though, is just getting to know you this year. You grew up in the 650
Yep.
EPA, which is, for people that don't know,
East Palo Alto.
East Palo Alto,
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
But it's no secret, it's a little bit of a tough area. And growing up there, how did that shape who you are today?
Well, I mean, nothing was given to me from a early age. So growing up, being a part of that, I'm definitely not proud of the crime and some of the negative things that come where I'm from, but still proud of where I'm from. And, it's definitely made me the man that I am today. Having adversity and at this point in my life is, it's just another chapter. It's nothing that's going to shake me or rock me at this point because I've been exposed to pretty much everything. So definitely love and take a lot of pride in where I'm from.
That definitely helps in this profession, rolling with the punches, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? At Palo Alto High School, you didn't play football until you were an upperclassman, right?
Yeah, junior year.
Junior year, you
Yeah.
were a basketball player, and I'm looking at your height. I'm accounting for the fact that it was high school.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you were a 2?
Really, one to three. Yeah, it depends.
okay.
I would run the point sometimes, but yeah, I was usually two or three.
Do you bring any of the hoops game to the NFL?
I mean, honestly, everything in my bag is from the hoop court. People tell me that all the time. I've had coaches say, I feel like you're gonna dribble the ball sometimes when you're moving with it. So, I definitely got some of my shiftiness and some of those moves from there. And I found that it's made it pretty tough on the DBs because there's not as many rules in basketball. So, in football, you think everything's so structured about the releases. I just get by the guys if I had a basketball, and it makes it a little easier for me.
So 3rd and 6, an opportunity maybe here at 2 plays. Snap to Derek. Back to pass. Pressure off the edge. Into the pocket. Lobs one downfield for Adams. At the goal line. Over his shoulder. Touchdown! Derek Carr racing forward on a beautiful ball for 48 yards.
Another baller, the greatest of all time, Kobe Bryant. He coined the term girl dad.
Yeah.
And now you're a girl dad. You have Deja and Desi. You're one of the baddest dudes in the NFL. There's got to be something that you do with your daughters as a girl dad that you go, if only people could see me right now, they think I'm a big softie.
Honestly, probably half of the stuff that I do with my kids, but people would say that. I'm like a different person. Not a different person, but everybody always told me growing up and even, my younger adult life that, you're too hard. Like you need daughters. You need a girl to kind of soften you up. So I guess that happened because I definitely engage in some stuff with my kids that I probably wouldn't have saw myself doing when I was younger.
The painted nails, do you ever do that?
I haven't painted the nail. We haven't gotten into the nail paint world for them yet. I'm sure that will happen at some point, but it will be taken off before I come into the building. Absolutely.
Unless it's black, then it must stay on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Carr sets up, looking his way, throwing the post. Adams goes up and makes the catch. Touchdown, Fresno State.
At Fresno State, Derek Carr. It's a person that you came of age with. What is your connection to Derek built upon?
I mean, it's a legitimate friendship more than anything. I mean, that's where it started, and I tell people this all the time. Derek is actually the one who started Tay. Like, I had some family members on my dad's side that would call me Tay growing up, my grandma, stuff like that. But as far as the rest of the world, I was D to everybody, D Money. That's what they called me in high school. And then when I got to Fresno, he's one of the first people to call me Tay, and then it kind of stuck. So, yeah, that's my guy, and we got genuine and legitimate love for each other. And I think that's what it's built on.
Wow. Okay, so it was D Money, now Tay because of Derek Carr. Okay.
It's Tay. Sometimes people say Tay, but
okay, it's
usually
Tay.
it's
He
Tay.
started it.
Yeah.
11 games in. Not exactly what you expected at 4 and 7, but the last 2 games we've seen a lot more come together. It was a bit of a rocky start and an adjustment. Are you starting to come into what you expected this offense to be when you first came here?
Yeah, well, honestly, throughout the whole season, I think the biggest thing that kind of taken away from what we've done on offense is the fact that we haven't finished out some of these games. I think the whole year we've shown a lot of promise and shown a lot of, positive flashes. We just haven't been consistent enough with that, and I think that that's what's kind of overshadowed the success that we have had. So now it's just about being consistent and figuring out how to win, and you know, we've done that obviously the last 2 games, walk-off situations and overtime. So if we can be more consistent with that, we'll have a lot of success as a team.
And part of that consistency is Mark Davis coming out and saying Josh McDaniels isn't going anywhere. He's going to be here.
Yeah.
And then you and Derek publicly came out and endorsed that. You didn't have to do that. Why did you feel the need to do that?
Love Josh. I think that you know, anything that's happened negatively with this season, I wouldn't attribute to the coaching staff at all. I think that at the end of the day, it's the players go make plays, and obviously you can give calls to put players in advantageous situations, but it's about execution, and you know, we hadn't done that at a high enough level, and you know, we're working toward that still right now. We definitely haven't arrived, but we've done a lot more consistently, and you know, Josh is preaching that, and we're definitely following his lead.
Now it's the Chargers. You've seen him before. You had a big game in week 1. If Derwin James is smart, he's going to have to drop down into the box at some point after watching Josh Jacobs have 300 yards from scrimmage. Do you see that and say, this is an opportunity for me? Because he has to choose.
Yeah.
Can't choose both of us.
Yeah, well, I'm always running my route to win regardless, and I'm ready for 2, 1, whatever it is, and you know, if my number's called, which obviously it is often, it's time for me to deliver regardless if he's in the box or if he's trying to double wherever he is or wherever anybody is. Honestly, it doesn't matter. We got to figure out a way to go get it done.
Talk about running routes. You're probably the best route runner in the NFL. Is there a player that you watched growing up or that you wanted to emulate that you considered a great route runner?
Yeah, honestly, when I was young, I never really thought about the receiver position the way that I did once I started playing in, you know, once I got to the NFL. Once I was in the NFL is when I started really studying other guys like that. Before it was just, you know, my favorite receivers. It wasn't necessarily studying, you know. I guess one guy that I definitely watched a lot of when I was a little younger was Santana Moss. He was somebody, he didn't necessarily have the same build as me, but I've always been pretty detail oriented when it comes to, you know, whether it's basketball or running routes or whatever it is. So to have an example like Santana, that was a guy who showed me earlier how it's done and how routes are meant to be run.
Not a lot of people traveled with some of those great receivers, and Santana and his height. Not expecting to see a guy like Asante Samuel Jr. maybe travel with you. I think the last guy that we saw try to travel with you was Patrick Surtain Jr., and we all know how that turned out. I think, what was it? He's not ready yet? I think we saw that he's not ready.
Not there yet.
He's too young. He's not there yet. He's not there yet.
When you see somebody kind of try to travel with you, when you see somebody line up one-on-one, do you take it personally or do you get excited?
Neither. I would say that I blame the coach usually. I don't think that it's their idea most of the time. So I don't really take it too personally because I think they're just doing what they were asked to do. But I definitely try to make them pay for it.
Carr, play action again. Looking downfield, lofts it near corner. Adams wide open at the 5. He walks in, and the Raiders walk off with a win. Touchdown, Davante Adams to win it here.
I wish at this point of the interview you were at 1,000 yards, but you're at 999. Couldn't you have gotten to 1,000 just at this point?
Just
for the
to say it.
purpose of this?
That's how it goes, though. I mean, honestly, I'm used to that because I got 2 seasons out of, you know, going on 9 now of 997. So
that kills ya.
2016 and 2019, and then they use that against me. Like that was
He
the
didn't
thing.
have 1,000 yards.
He didn't have. You can't. I see people like arguing on Twitter, like, yeah, well, how can you say Adams is the best? He doesn't. He only has such and such seasons at 1,000. They're like, what? He had 2 seasons, 997. You're like, nope, well, it doesn't count.
Doesn't count in their book. Like, I'm pretty sure you're going to get to 1,000 this year and beyond.
Hopefully.
Congratulations. Best of luck out there this weekend against the Chargers. Can't wait to see you hit that 1,000-yard mark.
Thank you. I appreciate it.